President Trump last night live down in North Carolina calling out Democratic hopefuls at the rally and their progressive promises to earn votes, he said.
I mean, he's desperate now. He's desperate. You don't have to pay for anything. You know, I joked. I said, and everybody will get a free Rolls Royce. Every family gets a free Rolls Royce, every family. And the media said, Donald Trump is exaggerating. He knows that they're not getting a Rolls Royce. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't put it. Don't put it. Don't put it. Don't put that I said free Rolls Royce.
Here to react, former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci. He's saying they're like Oprah, and you get a car, and you get a car. And his son was here yesterday. Eric was here and said basically what the title of your book is Trump, the Blue-Collar President. Yeah. And he said, my dad is the blue-collar billionaire. Is that something that...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Don Jr. called him during the campaign the blue-collar billionaire, and I took that and turned it into the blue-collar president because what I saw in the campaign was he was talking to the people that I grew up with, and ultimately the very large group of those people felt like they got left out of the system. And so he's also got the right policies to bring those people back into the system. So the weird thing is this far-left socialism doesn't bring the people back into the system. What it does is it concentrates power at the top of a system. And so... Right. So that's all the good stuff about the president.
I know that you were very critical of him and his tweets over the weekend.
I'm not a fan of it because, you know, I'm an Italian-American. People were told that in my family. My grandmother was told that. He's got so many great things to run on, Brian. We don't have to go in that direction, okay?
But
if he wants to label...
I understand that, but do you see what, after watching the rally last night, do you see what he was getting at now? Does that make you feel differently?
I don't like the racist tropes. I'm just going to be totally honest with that, okay? I was at an event last night, 200 people, supporters of Trump. He has his base, okay? He needs to get 10 to 15% of the people in the middle in certain areas of the country to re-win the election. Most of those people are moderates and independents. But for me, I'm a big supporter of the president, and so I think it's very important as a supporter to call balls and strikes, because if you're just saying, I love you all the time...
Do you think he tried to be racist with those comments?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's the president of the United States, and he's the leader of the free world, okay? His microphone is 15 times, 20 times more than our microphones.
But a lot of people believe that if you're not going to stand up for the American flag, if you're not proud of those colors,
I'm all about that.
Why are you in this country?
I wear the flag every day. I stand up for the flag. The president has a good strategy of defining the Democratic Party as that squad, and he can list every single thing that those people have done. They're anti-Semites. They've said racist things.
Without saying go home.
Yeah, don't say go home, because let me tell you something. Irish Americans, Italian Americans, many Americans that came here, their grandparents had to hear that, okay? There were signs in the windows in Brooklyn that said, Nina, no Italians, no Irish need apply. And so my grandmother worked at the Hostess Laundry, you know. She worked as a maid because of the discrimination. Don't say it. It's the wrong thing to say. You could win resoundingly if you tone that down. He should be at a 65% approval rating. He's done an unbelievable job for the country, and he's created an economic miracle. But when you're doing that, it's just against the interests and the ideals of what we all stand for in America. And by the way, I love the guy, so I'm talking about it as the way you would talk to a friend about it. It's not like I'm saying I'm not supporting him. I am supporting him. But you can't go in that direction, because what ends up happening is you're going to turn off the people that you need to win re-election.
What about the way the message kind of morphed into, well, if you don't like it, just leave?
Different message. Okay, that's a different message. You know that, and I know that, okay? And so, but he's got the bully pulpit, and so everything he says gets oversensitized by a factor of 50. He's got 150 million people on social media. That's the Super Bowl audience plus, you know, it's 1.5 times the Super Bowl audience every time he sends out a tweet. So he's winning. He's got an unbelievable economic agenda. He's created an economic miracle in the country. He's created the lowest unemployment rates for African-American and Hispanic-American citizens of the United States. So why can't we focus on that stuff? Okay, you want to label the Democratic Party and pull them further to the left so that you can win a 40-state landslide? I love that. But dial back the stuff that gets into the zone where you're going to turn off people that really want to vote for you.
All right.
Does that not make sense?
Makes sense.
All right.
Anthony, I believe that anyway. All right, thank you.
Put her there.